All right. It should work now. It should be working. I'm going to double check. I don't think that. See, it just did it again. It just likes to disable the comments for no reason. There we are. Yeah, it should work now. I don't know if it will, but it should. Oh, great. It works now. I think it might have just been like the YouTube's problem. Just had a little bit of a issue there. But works now. And after all of this is done, the progress is I've gotten the base coat for the trench coat, the Night Lord's blue, the nice dark blue. It took like 3 coats or so for a 100% opaque, very smooth finish. Now, just like yesterday, I explained all the colors yesterday, but I shall do it again if somebody didn't watch yesterday's stream. Night Lord's blue for the trench coat, and we're gonna do Thunderhawk blue for his trousers, his pants. I might try it for his cuffs, since that's what on the website they did. I think I'll try it for just this one model. And if it doesn't turn out, absolutely nobody will notice or care. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Gonna try it out on his cuffs, the Thunderhawk blue. Yes, very big brain. Thunderhawk blue is the layer paint, so it's a little transparent. But overall, it should cover in 3 coats, as most paints do, for a 100% opaque coverage. Some areas might need a 4th coat, but generally speaking, it only needs 3. What do you mean? Com units are always cool. Do you mean some units are always cool? Maybe a typo? Since I don't quite understand that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. 100%. Rules wise, he's also pretty cool to my memory, to my recollection. Yeah. There's just a little bit of a typo there. All right. Comms. Where is it? If I could find it, I would love to share what his rules are. I'd absolutely love to. All right. He's pretty nice. He pretty much can just transfer some of his action points to a different guy, which is kind of cool. And he can also do another thing which is relay orders, but I do not have the orders since I need to buy the Octarius book for that, which is like what, $45 or something. I don't need that right now. The core rulebook and the getting started book are enough for me. But if I do decide to buy that, then I can practice his the special rule of his. Ooh, strong color. But I probably won't, as I said, because A, $45, B, yeah, mainly just the $45. That's like the price of a model kit, a squad of dudes. Well, almost. It's pretty close, anyways. Yes, money is often the barrier. Well, it's like always the barrier because money. Can't have it without money, and if you don't have the money, then you can't have it. And Warhammer's incredibly expensive. Most of our entire hobby, even if it's not Games Workshop, is very expensive for what you're getting. The absolute scam artists that are GW with their pricing. $45 for a book that you could spend like what? You can go to your library and buy it for, I don't know, $10. Yep. Because they have great miniatures. Other companies also have nice miniatures, but I like Games Workshop miniatures a lot. Like Space Marines, I like their units specifically, not little proxies. I like specific things, right? Yeah, tiny toy soldiers that cost you a kidney. Man, it's still outrageous how expensive it is. Games Workshop profit margins are like 30% from last year, and that's just pure profit, right? So that's what the CEOs get, just to kind of spend. To my understanding of how it works, for example, Walmart makes like 2.5% profit. Games Workshop makes 30%. That's after everything's said and done. Everybody's paid, all overhead is paid, everything's done. They just have 30% left over. I missed my kidney too. It was a nice part of the organ collection. But we got another one. We got two. So we're good. But yeah. I like the specific miniatures, not proxies. Some proxies are cool, but often, at least in my opinion, they aren't as cool as opinions on Space Marines being used too much. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. If you like Space Marines, then you like Space Marines. I like Space Marines, so I buy Space Marines. But personally, I think everybody should branch out a little bit. Like buy a squad of infantry for a different faction that you don't normally do, but you think kind of look cool. To add a little variation, so you don't get bored. For example, my Dark Angel army, which consists of Terminators, Box Terminators, attack 10 Space Marines infantry, a Rhino, a Kit Bash Tech Marine, a Dreadnought, and 3 bikers. It gets boring. It gets very boring when all you have to paint is green, 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 and a little more green. It gets pretty boring. Now, obviously, the thing with Archangels is that there's different wings, which is really cool. I'm probably gonna collect more Dark Angels as my love for them has kind of been revived. But I definitely try to buy things that you wouldn't normally buy for your army, like a squad of orcs if you collect Imperial Guard or whatever. But as far as being used too much, They're the poster boys. Somebody has to be a poster boy. Like in Star Wars, it's stormtroopers, right? For the Empire. Somebody has to be a poster boy, and if they just so happen to be a poster boy, I don't think that they should be hated on for being a poster boy. That's at least how I think of the whole anti-space marines use too much thing. You're very welcome for my opinion. So now I'm moving on to Corvus Black, which is a slight off black, painted in some black details, such as his gun, his last gun around his back, his right underneath, right where his neck is on the model. You can't see it, but right under the gas mask, right where his neck would be. I paint that Corvus Black. I paint his las gun Corvus Black. Then I'll pick out the silver and gold detailing. Also, update on the yesterday's recipe change for my overall wash. Very nice. It's what I want to do. It's the 2 parts contrast medium, 1 part basilicon green, 1 part Agrax Earthshade. It's really nice. Darkens everything down for highlighting, which is nice, and it also just like the right tone for everything. So I will be doing that from now on. I probably won't do a painting tutorial because they take a lot of effort, like a lot of effort. Because I have to film a lot of different things and I have to edit it on my PC. Sorry, not my PC, my laptop, which it almost dies. Like the fan, like I've felt it before where the fan is, like that area next to where the battery I believe is. It gets incredibly hot. But yeah, essentially. I've edited one painting video before. It is the Iron Warriors painting tutorial. It took me like what? Sheesh. Took me like 2 hours to download it after I edited it because I have to download it onto my computer after it's been edited. Took like 90 minutes to like 2 hours there, right? And then I also have to upload it to YouTube, which also took like an hour because they have to run through it all like 2 times because it has to go HD and SD. And it's just a nightmare. If I had more of an operation, I guess I could. But I don't think I want to do painting tutorials much. Reviews are pretty easy, and I can do some live streams explaining what I'm doing. But that's about it. So if anybody's watching this and wondering why I don't do painting tutorials, that's why. I've thought about it, but it just is a lot of work, like a lot of work. But yeah, I like live streams, as I've already explained in prior live streams. They're really easy. I don't have to do anything. I just have to turn on my camera and talk. No editing, no downloading. It's really nice and simple. I don't really edit either way with my reviews because there's not much to do as far as editing would go. Exactly. And my Iron Warriors painting tutorial didn't even get a lot of views. I think it's sitting at 30, 35 last time I checked. As my reviews, which take a relatively minimal amount of effort. I just have to paint up the model, which is I'm going to do it either way. But as far as the actual video making goes, all I have to do is record my showing it off, the features, some things on building, kind of explain some basic things about it, and yeah, then I'll upload it, and it's pretty nice, pretty easy. Um, as far as this Kill Team box goes, it's probably going to take quite a bit more work. Um, Probably definitely a longer video, obviously, since I'm going to go over the rules, basic overview over the rules, of course. I have to go through terrain, I have to go through models. So it'll be a good bit of effort to make that, but I think it'll turn out pretty well. I already have a plan of how I'm going to do it. I'm going to spread it out into segments, which will go models, terrain, rules, and some final thoughts, like thoughts on assembly and things of that nature. That's how I'm planning on dividing it up when I do the review of the box, which will probably be coming out sometime next month, as I have a lot to paint. All right, now I'm going to use Celestial Gray for his gas mask. Create a. Do you think Tyranids would get a kill team? Well, they kill team. I hope so. I think that'd be kind of neat. But do I think? I think so. Yeah, because next year, as I mentioned yesterday, it's supposed to be Space Marines versus Tyranids, right? So they're getting big range refresh and all that. But I think so. They have a compendium. They have rules for it, but they don't have like a kill team set like Orc Commandos, for example. Or what else has a Space Marines? They have like a couple kill teams. I think so. Yes. My guess would be I probably like the last box in the kill team season, since we have two boxes out so far. The third one will probably come out in quite a while. My guess is one more month till the third box in this kill team season till it comes out. It's my guess, anyways. We'll see how well it holds up. All right, what else? We have the knob. All right. The orc, so far the painting experience has been pretty fun. See, the thing with orcs is they have so many different materials, like, and they can't be uniform, right? Like the pants and the shirt can't like be the same color. So that takes a good while to actually paint up. Well, if you want it to be truly orky, the shirt and pants shouldn't match, and things of that kind of nature. But so it takes a while to paint because you have to do highlights and base coats and all that. But I'd definitely say that they're enjoyable to paint. So yeah, um, but they take a while, as well as their orc flesh. Since it's skin, I like to take my time on it. Since it's the focal point of the model, I like to take my time on it, and it takes a good while. Like for this guy that was part of yesterday's stream. Yeah, And that's the thing with orcs. You could do a lot of mixing, and you can get very creative. You could do all that. Um, like for my orcs, I have to do a lot of painting, mixing because I don't have certain paints, and I don't think it'd be worth to go out and buy them for pants. But anyways, back to the skin on them. I like to take my time. What I do is mixes. All my orcs have mixes for their highlights. So for like this guy, probably like my favorite current mix is Auroch Flesh. Again, amazing, absolutely lovely. And I mix in Buff from Vallejo, which is essentially Ubshapti Bone from Citadel. But it creates a nice, warm skin. It stays relatively saturated, which, if any of you guys know me, I like saturation. I like relatively saturated colors, as it looks pretty cool. I prefer it over a desaturated, bland color scheme. There's no pop in a desaturated color scheme. Yeah, yeah. I do different green shades. Like that's definitely my current favorite. But I'm more. I don't think a brown skin makes much sense like a Caucasian or like a brown like a human would. I don't think that makes too much sense as far as orcs go. Like, I mean, they're orcs, right? They're not humans. Like, for example, like the most human kind of a tone that I would go for, I guess, would be like on this knob. It's still very green. You can very clearly tell that it's green, but it's kind of more just saturated green. It's more tan. It's like a tanny green, if that makes any sense. But I definitely prefer actual green versus more brown. Yeah, that's what I do. It creates a nice level of variation. I so far have, what do I have? One, two, four different ways of painting it. I obviously have ideas for more, but I have a neon. I have this style, which is my favorite style. Will Whitey work with me? There we are. That style is my favorite style. It's the Auroch Flesh. But then I have neon and different style of a traditional kind of a skin with the yellow. Creates a nice level of variation, which I think is important, especially in an orc army where everything's different, like different clothing, different guns, different colors. It's very nice. Yeah, yeah, definitely, because it's kind of like humans. We um we have essentially brown and Caucasian, a brown and a white, right? It just kind of mixes in between that. And I would have to imagine the same for the orcs, right? Essentially just a green, but varying levels of green, right? Anyways, orcs are awesome. Conclusion of that rant on orc skin and variation to it. Orcs are awesome. Alright, so for the knob. That is awesome. That is absolutely big brained. Like the color would mix with green, whatever color the soil is. Because if, yeah, that's actually awesome. As orcs are fungi. That's a great idea. You need to write GW with that. That is a wonderful idea. Yes, get a hold of their customer service. Pretend like you're missing a part, but then just introduce them to that idea. All right, now I'm moving on to what is this? What am I using? Flat green from Vallejo. It's a nice green. Looks good for orc skin. I'm going to do a neon. So I'm going to be mixing in lemon yellow from Vallejo, which is essentially just Flash Gets yellow. It's really just bright, vibrant yellow. So if anybody is following along, which I incredibly doubt, that is what I am using for a neon orc skin color. I can't tell. Okay, yeah. That is skin. That is not a coat. Like an undercoat. Yeah, I saw that. I remember that. It's pretty neat. I like it. It's very. I believe in old orc art, like very, like I'm talking super old orc art, where the orcs don't even look like modern orcs. They had that. They had clan colored face paint, which I thought is very cool and it would make sense. It's very orky. And it adds a lot of variation, which I'm sure, as you can tell by listening to my rants about variation, variation is nice. It keeps everything interesting. And as far as painting goes, it adds a little bit of spice to it. Accurate, 100% accurate. Oh man, I don't know if you've seen the Dread Aaron day in the life of an Ogren geezer video. It's funny. I love geezer videos. They're always the best. Peak humor. So an issue that I find with these Vallejo, yes, but an issue that I find with these Vallejo dropper bottles and just dropper bottles in general is they mix in air when it's coming out of the bottle. It mixes in air and then there's a bunch of bubbles. It's like when you're painting, just a bunch of bubbles, and it sucks. I hate it because it won't dry the same. Since there's that bubble of air, it won't dry the same. Now, given you can mix them out of it, or you can just mix in more bubbles. more air bubbles, which kind of sucks. That's like my only complaint with these with dropper bottles. Um, with my current under knowledge on dropper bottles, I experience with dropper bottles is what I meant to say, and I don't know why I just said IE, but I did. It's not like a connecting thing. It's just correction, I suppose. But this flat green from Vallejo is very saturated. It's nice. It's very saturated, kind of classic. What you when you think of green, this is the kind of color that you think of, right? That kind of a green. It's very nice. So, with that, I've been streaming for 45 minutes. Well, actually, I believe a little more than 45 minutes. I will end it in a minute here, as I like to just do 45-minute stream sessions. I find that that is what works for me. So then I can go off and go do other things, such as use the restroom, etc. So in a minute here, I will end the stream. Thank you for everybody who has participated to the stream and those who are watching this after the fact. So yeah. Yes. Thank you very much, Big Lad. I am very happy that you are a stream viewer. As you could tell, you're the only person in the chat. All right, so thank you guys, everybody, for watching, and those that are watching in the VOD, I believe the term would be. And goodbye. And press several buttons to end the stream.